Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. As a witch, that's what I try to live by. There are so many different ways to do a lot of things, whether it's a specific spell like a hex or a road opener, or whether we're talking about something like manifesting. There are so many ways, and a lot of times, most of them are right. Or rather, they have the potential to be right. So back to the original statement, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. What does that really mean? Well, it means, in a way, trust your intuition to tell you what is right and what is in alignment for you and what isn't. Whether that is from me, whether that's advice you hear from another creator, or whether that's things that you read in a book, be it about witchcraft or not. Though, really, the focus of this video is more witchcraft related. We are all different, and there is no one size fits all for witchcraft. We all have our own ethics. We all have what we see as morally good and bad. And while overall throughout the collective, we often agree on some of these things, sometimes we don't, and for the most part, that is okay. While I am a witch and I am a pagan and I practice witchcraft quite regularly, growing up, I learned more from the Wiccan side of things, which has the rule of 3, which is, if you do harm, harm will come back threefold. And that's not something I agree with. I think there is always a good and bad balance, a balance of light and dark. But for me, I don't agree with the rule of 3, so it's not something I will ever tell someone to practice. And it's an example of take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That's something I leave on the table because I know for me, it doesn't resonate. But for other people, it might, and that's okay. Witchcraft is not like Catholicism or Christianity, where you have to follow very specific rules, and if you don't follow them, well, you know where you're going. It's free-flowing, it's intuitive based, or at least that's how I believe it should be. And the more I let go of things that I don't believe in, things that I know don't align for me, the easier it is to continuously come back to the choices that will lead me to my flow, will lead me to abundance, or just the places I need to go in general. We are all different, and there is no one size fits all piece of advice that will work for 100% of people. I love listening to intuitive collective readings. I practice doing them myself as well, but that's another perfect example of take what resonates and leave what doesn't. A lot of those readings that you see, whether it's on social media or YouTube, aren't going to be for you, but they could be, or there could be little pieces of them that are relevant, or, a video could be not relevant for you in that moment, but 6 months down the road, it could be because your circumstances changed, and that's okay. At the end of the day, I think what is most important is coming into yourself, coming home to yourself, and listening to that inner voice, listening to your higher self, and listening to that first snap judgment. Maybe judgment isn't the right word, but that first snapshot of a thought of yes or no, this is for me, which can really relate to how to tell the difference between your anxiety and your intuition, which isn't always the easiest. I have made a video about that. I will try to link it somewhere around here at the end. But yeah, this is a premise that I learned very on in my spiritual practice, and it is one that I have taken with me throughout my journey these last 5 years, and it's something that can be taken and used in so many different areas of my life, whether it's advice about content creation that I hear from other creators, or advice from artists, or even just from the entrepreneurial sense, being in an entrepreneur program, which is amazing. I get a lot of advice, and I don't agree with a lot of it, and that's okay. I get to leave that on the table for somebody who does agree with that, or somebody who resonates with it and, will use that advice. I don't have to, because I know myself better. And the more you practice listening to that, the more you practice figuring out what resonates and what doesn't, the smoother things will become, the easier things will start to travel and flow. And that's what, at least, I like to think most of us are working towards. So hopefully this helped. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I am grateful you exist. If you found this helpful, I would love if you'd subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.